Yeah. So, is there any recommendations for people eating on a budget?
Yeah, absolutely. And I've got a presentation that I give, which is entitled that Eating Like an Athlete on a Budget. And actually, if you actually break it down to the fundamentals, I reckon you can eat exactly the way I said there for under £5 a day. And people challenge me to do that. So I've done that in the talk. And the way that, we can do that is by things like, a large bag of rice, I think, is a wonderful carbohydrate source. We don't need quinoa and all these fancy carbohydrate sources. A large bag of rice and a pan of boiling water will get you your carbohydrate needs for ridiculously cheap. And in a similar, a large bag of potatoes, the humble potato has been absolutely hammered, and I've got no idea why. When it comes to things like berries, I'm a huge fan of frozen berries, or even going to a supermarket when the berries are in the roots section, bang them in the freezer, and they're unbelievably good to have in your smoothies. And often, if you've got the right time of night to a supermarket, you can get a tub of berries for like 5 or 10 pence that make amazing smoothies. When it comes to protein, we don't need to be having like fillet steaks. We can be tins of tuna, magnificent. Different frozen fish, really good. Chicken, turkey. But when it comes to a chicken, I always advise people to buy a whole chicken. So rather than a chicken breast, a whole chicken around about £3.5 from Asda. Learn how to cook it. I like to spatchcock a chicken, where you remove the spine, you widen it up, because then at the end it's so easy to fill it into 2 breasts, 2 legs, 2 thighs, 2 wings, and you get multiple hits of protein out of that. Different yogurts, I'm a massive fan of. I think that's really important. And then with things like vegetables, frozen vegetables, nothing wrong with a big bag of frozen broccoli. So think about what we're trying to achieve in each meal: 30 grams of protein and the carbohydrate that you need. And then, so for example, breakfast could be some omelettes and some spinach and peppers. You're probably talking under £1 for a breakfast there. Your lunch can be a tin of tuna with some rice and some frozen vegetables. And your dinner could be, you could have that chicken that you've cooked for your entire family. You have a breast of it, so that's around about 70 pence, the way I've just done it, with some potatoes and again some frozen vegetables. So, and then my other tip is, things like offal. I don't think as a society we eat enough. Things like liver, kidney, really cheap meat, but packed full of goodness. So yes, I do believe you can eat like an athlete, the exact way I've said, for under what it costs you to get a bottle of beer in a Manchester bar these days.
Good stuff. And I tell you what, though, people do put their nose at frozen veg and fruit, don't they, for some reason? But I've started using a lot more of sort of frozen. When you go to Aldi and you can get the frozen broccoli, it's so succulent when you cook it as well.
No idea why. Yeah, the other thing I do a lot is if I've got fresh veg, the second I think, oh, that's going a little bit soft and it's not going to be how I want it, that then makes a vegetable soup for me for a week. So I bang it all into a pan, vegetable stock cube, boiling water, got my hand blitzer, blitz it up, and then we just don't waste anything. If we actually look at a typical food shop, most of us waste nearly a quarter of what we buy. Food wastage is horrendous. So don't be scared of freezing things, freezing veg. And as I said, with berries, don't be scared of getting frozen berries. Far better to have some frozen berries than not to have anything at all. Far better.
Yeah, chuck it all in a stew at the end of the week. That's what I tend to do, isn't it? With all your sort of vegetables that you haven't had and all the rest of it, and it's it's really nice. And Reese has finished there. He said big thank you and said rice and tuna is 2 favorite things. So I feel sorry for Reese's flatmates for the next month or so.
I'm sure they'll teach myself how to do sushi, because I'm with you. I love rice and I love tuna. And we had a chef, Carl Engelman, who came to Japan with us, but was unbelievable at making sushi himself. The sushi we got in Japan was magnificent. And if you just get some risotto rice or sushi rice, tin of tuna, if you talk about a healthy snack, you can have some just little sushi rolls. You just need to learn how to do it. And that's when I go back to that tree at the beginning of my talk, and I talk about skills. a good way to eat on a budget is to become really good at being creative in the kitchen.
Yeah, excellent stuff. No, I love a bit of sushi as well. So maybe session number 2 is once you get the hang of it, Graeme, is sushi eating for referees. We could have it'd be nice for that to be face to face, wouldn't it? So we've got
Do you
a
know what?
plate to be around the
Genuinely, we
table.
put sushi in the dressing rooms after the game at England Rugby. It's a perfect post game snack. So if people like it and they know how to make it, then actually, some tuna and rice sushi rolls, if you've got a way of keeping it cool, a little cool bag, they make a perfect post game snack.